Jason Light told us about this 2 weeks ago on a Thursday, right? When he calls in and he's like, we're going to have a mock draft. I asked Thomas Dimitrov, you guys going to have a mock draft to go through all this? Yes. Well, it's going down right now, and apparently it's very glitchy. It's not working out. And this is why we rehearse. This is why every single network, every show rehearses.
The Academy Awards rehearses for 5 days before the show.
Do they really?
The Grammys do it the whole week, too.
So I guess right now in this mock draft, Moonlight's winning Best Picture. Or La La Land's winning Best Picture, pardon me.
Nice.
Right now, Warren Beatty's reading the wrong draft choice in the mock draft right now, apparently. To use that analogy.
That is going to end up being a meme on Thursday, isn't it?
Which is what?
Just the dude holding up the card.
Yeah. Well, I hope not.
And it's going to have the wrong name on it.
I hope not.
I don't know.
So what is Diana Rossini of ESPN read off her tweet right now because apparently everybody's just getting, everyone's calling their contacts who are involved in this mock draft right now saying, what is happening right now? So what is it? Walk me through what this is right now.
So she's kind of running this down right now. She's saying bandwidth is the problem. Texting from a GM. There are communication issues because 32 of us GMs are on a conference call and we didn't hit mute. It sounds awful. After the start, it's running smoothly. Another head coach texted her. Then she said she asked the head coach to kind of explain what's going on.
Right.
There's the NFL main room that only people in the organization can log into. Then there's another call with 15 to 20 scouts and coaches, and they all have to find a way to communicate, call the prospects after you pick them, sign off on trades, lots of moving parts.
Now, the reason why teams call prospects before they pick them, by the way.
Right.
Remember how way back when, as in last year or a few years ago, for sure, when the league has stopped ESPN and NFL Network for showing the green room. Because you don't want to see who's on the phone. You see who's on the phone, somebody's tips the pick.
Yep.
And so we were discussing, well, why don't you just tell teams you can't call anybody? You can't call them. And the answer that came back, and this is the truth, is you call the person you're about to draft. Not just to say, so Jerry Jones can say, welcome to Dallas Cowboys, and they could put it on cowboys.com.
Right. Which is cool.
I know, it's great, and we love the access. But it's legitimately, somebody described to me years ago, to make sure the player is okay, like alive.
Living and breathing.
Like that's why they call the prospect to say, are you okay? Did you trip over anything today? Like walk me through it. Like to hear the player basically say, I'm coming, coach. Great. So I understand why they're going to have to. There's a ton of moving parts. I get it. And we've been having fun with the coaching setups and the general manager setups.
This is the first time.
But I guess it's going smoothly now? Is that what you said? It's one coach is saying it's going smoothly?
Yeah, once they all figured out how to hit mute. The communication aspect smoothed out.
People.
It happens all the time.
Exactly.
It happens all the time.
Exactly. We've been at conference calls.
And it's just like, excuse me.
Somebody's running around.
So are you
house?
saying like we're going through the mock draft and John Lynch is on tomorrow? Is John Lynch's dog barking in the background? Is that what it is? Like we can't hear about Tua's trade because Lynch's dog is barking and John didn't mute like we're supposed to.
Or somebody's fire alarm's beeping.
The picture fell off Gettleman's wall.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And with Lynch, you don't know what phone to mute.
Right.
He's got three of them. Look at that.
Probably a cell phone.
Cell phone, you got to add the cell phone.
I don't know. What are we muting? I can't tell.
And what if you have a window open that's playing one random video and you're trying to scramble through? It's a disaster.
I mean,
this is all going to work out, people.
It'll be fine.
We're going to get through this. But somebody's just immediately all screwed up right now. Let me text Adam Schefter.
It's like,
and by the way, it is absolutely, I don't want this to be seen in any way, shape, or form that Adam shouldn't be tweeting that stuff out. Of course, that's exactly what we're talking about right now is how will this draft work? It is unlike any other, and one that we will never forget and hopefully never repeat. And so this is a story for sure. But this is why the mock draft's being held today. And I understand that today, general managers and coaches would rather not be figuring out where's the mute. What's this? How do I speak to Coach A, how do I hook Coach A up with Scout C? How does Scout C get hooked up with Prospect Q? And I'm sure they would rather not be doing that. But guess what? There's not going to be a time in the next weeks or potentially months where it's going to be normal. It's got to be done. And if you want to get a season done on time, if heaven forbid, knock on wood if you're with me, it all works out, you got to get the draft done.
Yep.
So if the draft's got to get done, let's do it. And work the kinks out.
And rehearse.
You know,
they're doing it today.
When I chatted with RG1 the other day, by the way, from my right desk position.
Flex.
I love it.
When I spoke to Roger Goodell, when I spoke to the goods, I'm sorry, that's what Eric Stone Street calls Roger Goodell. But when I spoke to the commissioner the other day, he said he wants to keep everything on time. And he did say all teams were on board, owners were. This tweet to Schefter shows not everyone's on this train. It's brutal. This is terrible.
It's the first rehearsal that they're all together.
Let me ask you a question. The NFL, with all their partners, do you think they can locate the bandwidth problem and fix it? Do you think?
Yes.
Do you think all the ITs can get together and figure out a bandwidth problem in the next 72 hours?
Not like it's the biggest show every year, the Super Bowl, that more people watch than any other show.
The thing I would genuinely be concerned about it is, outside of getting the pick in, that does sound like a logistical phone, computer situation. And if you've got somebody at the very top of your decision-making who might not be very savvy in all this, trying to figure all this stuff out.
You're talking about Dave Gettleman?
No, I'm not talking about
just anyone in general.
No, I'm just anyone in general who's not.
Kidding.
Some people don't know how to work a computer,
Look,
Rich. There are people.
It's not people who don't know how to work a computer. It's
The Rolling Stones figured out Zoom the other day. I think these guys can get it.
I have told. You saw my IT guy here in Los Angeles. I'll say it out here. Bill Waters, one of the great, and here in Los Angeles, he came and helped with us here, right?
Redo my house.
He's amazing.
It's amazing.
I've told him his number one job is that whenever I'm away from the home, I never get the phone call from home of how does this work. That's it. Nothing. I think anybody who's in a relationship, okay? By a relationship, I mean with your spouse, with your parents, with your kids, nothing is more in this world, that fantasy world that we're living in, the toy department that we're living in right now. I understand what's going on outside these walls, so please understand I'm saying where they're coming from. Nothing can create an argument more where the red button. Do you see the red button? I don't see a red button. I see a green button. Where's the red button? It's there. Just look like, you know what I'm saying? Could you imagine that it's an NFL draft like that? I understand where the
of course.
angst would come from. I get it.
And somebody is going to screw up on Thursday.
Oh, 100%.
I think that should be expected.
Exactly.
It's going to happen. And like you said, we'll hit pause, we'll figure it out, and then we'll start it up again.
Did I say Tua? I meant Justin Herbert. Did you hear me? Can you?
Is this thing on? Oh, the mute was
Think about
hurting.
this.
The machine's back on.
The Academy Awards gave out the wrong best. Think about it. That's like the biggest.
It happens.
It happens. Things are going to happen.
I don't mean to laugh, but I think this is going to get worked out.
It's going to be fine.
And if it doesn't, we'll hit the pause on a draft.
Exactly.
The draft is stopped. There is some sort of technical problem. It's not what the NFL wants to have done. But guess what? Where else are we all going? Everybody just stay tight, sit tight. Clock stopped. We'll figure it out. If that happens, it'll be talked about. It won't be something that the NFL wants, but you can still get through it.
Oh, Twitter's going to be great.
Oh, my gosh.
It's going to be.
Twitter
Well,
is gonna be awesome.
it will be because the Draftathon Live with me and Dion will be on it. You understand?
Well
Thank
done.
you. There is an I in Rich and Eisen, but I am a team player. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.